Yo, welcome to another episode of TopherTvPodcast, and I'm here with my lovely wife.
Key, how you doing?
Welcome back. Appreciate everybody who's been showing love and supporting us from the ground up, you know? I said us. It's your second time going
Oh, I'm
back.
production. I got a job here.
But, congratulations, clap it up. We made another week of pregnancy. We had 36 weeks.
Yes.
I can add this week, you know.
All my weeks.
4 more weeks if he doesn't decide to come early. Because, babies, they make an appearance whenever they want to come.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, brief update. Like, how you feeling? Any changes, anything like that?
I mean, no really big changes besides him getting bigger, getting a little lower, definitely a little heavier to carry. Jesus have mercy.
Oh, thanks to you, right? You kind of tall.
Chris, be for real.
Yeah, you like 6'2"-ish.
In what world?
This one.
Now, when these people watch this, they actually just see me in person. They gonna know you. Ain't nobody you the tall one.
I'm quite tall myself too. Yeah.
Chris, I'm 4'10". Get out of here with that. It ain't me. I'm not the problem. You the problem. You the problem.
But he could take after you too. He just got a starter weight. That's what we call that.
No, he definitely took after you.
How many pounds do you weigh right now?
Let me see.
What?
It's like it got its own weight to it.
You think you can gauge it like that?
I don't know. I think he could be between 5.5, 6 pounds. Maybe even heavier.
I'm gonna say 7. I'm just going home 6, 7.
As long as he ain't 9, we straight. Don't get no ideas. Don't start jinxing. Don't even say nothing.
Okay. All right, so something has been weighing on my heart, right? And we talked about this briefly, but there was a time where social media just didn't exist. Do you think we doomed as a generation? Because I know, it has its pros and cons of the use of social media, but there was literally a time where social media wasn't around. It was literally just MySpace, and all of y'all know about this. It was literally just MySpace, and probably some other stuff that we don't think about. But do you think we doomed as we keep moving on in the future? Because the stuff that goes on social media is just insane to me.
Oh, I wouldn't say we necessarily doomed, but I would say we got some problems coming up because I feel like a lot of people take social media too seriously.
Nah, that is the truth.
As far as relationships, politics, world crisis, and everything, it's just y'all shouldn't believe everything you read online. But I also feel like social media plays a big part in knowledge though, because we have a lot more access to knowledge that people didn't have before, which kind of makes the generations shift and have conflict, because our generation and the generations to come, they gonna be smarter than us and the freaking past generations simply because we have access to more knowledge. But I feel like some of that knowledge can be misconstrued. So it's sometimes people need to read a book.
Yeah.
So I won't say we doomed, but I think that if people don't actually take a break from it and just get into reality, because I also think social media brings a lot of depression and anxiety too.
You think?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people be so stuck behind the screen.
But
people are always stuck behind the screen. Think about it, there's more online dating. You don't even have to leave the house to have anything.
Interaction.
Yeah. So it's think about when you go to a restaurant or to a movie theater, people are always on their phone. So it's how can you have any real connection with a person? Yeah. With anything, honestly. But you're always behind the screen.
But how specifically does it cause depression? Because if they're doing that behind the screen, it clearly makes them happy enough.
No, because you're stuck behind the screen, which means you're 9 times out of 10 inside, which means you're not getting any sunlight, you're not getting any fresh air.
And what kind of anxiety? Is it social anxiety?
That too.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Think about all the mental health issues and stuff that come. if think about what like kids are watching or anything, like if I'm watching a TV show and the person on the TV show has some form of relation to me or anything like that, I'm gonna keep watching the TV show, right? Because it's interesting.
Right.
But say that person says I have anxiety, well not me, but the person says they have anxiety, right? And you looking at the things that they do, it's gonna make you think like, damn, maybe I have anxiety. Now you're self-diagnosing. Now you have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like social anxiety does come that way, because if the only social interaction you get is behind the screen, when you go out in public, how can you communicate? People have piss poor communication these days.
Already, yeah.
So it's like people didn't have that bad of communicating back then. Like when we talked before, how we didn't, like when you say we didn't have social media, but people were way more involved in other people's lives.
Right.
Now it's like you may have somebody you ain't talked to in years, but they keep up with you by watching you on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's weird. I really think that's weird, because it's like you got my phone number and you can pull up on me if the case, if need be, right? So it's like your checking up on me is viewing what I post on social media. But for me, I don't post a lot, and I know you the same way too. So it's like a lot of the updates I might have in my life, y'all not gonna see it, or you not gonna see it, because I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people use that as like a way of checking up on you or checking in with you, but it's like that's weird. Like we can have a conversation and then talk about what's going on.
It's more intimate that way.
Yeah.
People lost a lot of intimacy.
But people don't care about intimacy too, though.
But people crave it.
They crave it, but they don't care.
How can you not care about something that you crave? A lot of people don't even know that they're craving it, or that's what they're missing out on. Why do you think people in relationships have arguments where like we're sitting on the phone and the woman's like, why are you always on your phone? Or the man's like, why are you on your phone? That's an intimate conversation. That's intimacy. That's like if we was on this podcast and I'm talking to you and I'm on my phone, we just lost all that intimate conversation.
But not having it causes you not to care as well. Think about it.
But
the more
you do care.
No, listen. So okay, so you said people crave intimacy, right? But think about how exhausting it has to be to continually tell you, why you always on your phone? Why you always on your phone? Why you always on your phone? You know what it's gonna cause? It's gonna cause you to build up a mental thing in your head to tell you, okay, I want this, but I'm not gonna get it. So you know what I'm gonna be forced to do? Stop caring about it. That's where I'm coming from.
But it doesn't change the fact that you still want it.
Nah, that's true.
So you do care about it. You may not care about it from that person, but you're not gonna be with that person.
Yeah, but you not getting it from that person will cause a domino effect with all the people you want intimacy from.
But at the
right or wrong.
And I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but at the end of the day, all it is that moment that you figured out that you feel like you quote unquote don't care is where the root of the problem starts. But at the end of the day, say you find a person that actually loves you and actually gives you intimacy, you're gonna be so starstruck from it and be like, dang, this is what I've been looking for, this is what I've been missing. But I got so traumatized that I didn't care to go look for it. So I just kind of went with what I was used to. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna care about it because it's natural for you to want that. Everybody wants intimacy.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not that you don't care, it's just you've accepted the fact that you're not gonna get it. But you still care about it.
Yeah.
That's like, you can make that in any aspect of life. Any aspect. You may not have a relationship with a person that you want a relationship with, so you tell yourself that you don't care. But deep down, you're gonna always care because it's what you want.
So
but you have to make yourself feel numb because you don't want to put yourself in a bad mental state or an emotional state.
Yeah, and trauma can cause a lot of issues too, because it allows you to go into a state of mind to where like you can't think straight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, yes.
what was our role for?
Cause I've been there.
You been there?
I have.
Like through personal experiences?
Yes, I have had my fair share of traumatic experiences, and sometimes you go through like so much trauma that you don't even realize you're traumatized. It's really people out here.
I wonder, is it like a name for that?
I don't know.
Because that's like, that would be like considered the breaking point of your trauma?
That's where people get like multiple personalities and they start disassociating, depression, because you've been through so much to the point where you're just numb. you can't accept any more pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you've been doing it for so long. Well, in my case, I was like in so much pain for so long that I didn't realize I was in pain.
Mm.
And then it was like I met you, and you were like a person that didn't go through as much trauma as me. So it's like
that's true.
So it's like you had a different perspective, and you knew what I was doing or what I was feeling was wrong. But because I had been in it for so long, I felt like it was right. And then it was like trying to transition over to like your mental state of peace of mind and feeling relaxed.
Yeah.
It was like I was in like shock. I was like, I don't think I can do this. I need something to stress about.
Yeah, I threw like a reverse Uno card.
Yeah.
And like you didn't know really how to respond to it.
Nah,
because
not at
it was,
all.
it's different. It's a change.
Change is beautiful yet hard.
Do you think that it's possible for people to build a bond through trauma?
Heck yeah.
Really?
Trauma bonding is like, it's like being in lust. Sometimes you don't even know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you feel like that you with a person or you around family members or in situations and you don't even realize that you're there because y'all either went through something traumatic together, y'all bonded over something that y'all both went through traumatically, or you've been through trauma and they feel guilty for your trauma and they stick around. It's trauma bonding. We're not bonded because there's a mutual love or a mutual like or just a feeling of peace. It's like people cling to like relationships that they relate to versus cling to relationships that bring them peace. And that's on like the male and female perspective. Just because like you've been with a man or a woman for so long and it's just been like, oh, like they went through this with me, but you have no peace, no happiness, you aren't growing as a person. So now you're just watering a dead sea.
Yeah, and it allows your train of thought and your judgment to be clouded. Because it's like you can't even think for yourself at that point.
No.
Dang, I never thought about that. That's kind of crazy. Cause it's crazy and scary. Because it's like you're not even like your own person no more.
No, that's like soul ties too though. Trauma bonds are like a big thing that people that can't like differentiate like between real and fake. Same thing with soul ties, because soul ties is like it's like a lust thing, which is why I said earlier about being in lust. So soul ties is like you're connected to this person because y'all had sex together and now y'all like stuck together. And you feel like you're so in love, and you feel like it's gonna work, and you feel like this is your person, this is everything I'm looking for, but it's just lust. Y'all just had sex because people don't believe sex is spiritual, but y'all had sex and your spirits are now entwined and you can't get rid of that person.
Yeah. And I don't understand how people don't believe like it's deeper than just sex. You know what I'm saying? Because literally as hard as you try not to like develop emotions or feel some type of way, you're gonna do it. And then on top of that, I don't like the way that sex is like being generalized. Like people use sex just for everything.
I mean, yeah, sex sells.
Yeah, I mean, like I get it, sex sells, it's fun, woo. But at the same time, I just don't like how it's been like generalized. Like people lose their mind over sex. You know what I'm saying? Like people literally go insane because they can't have it, they can't do it, or they can't, I don't know, get their rocks off with this designated person often. And it's like brainwashing almost, if you think about it. You see what I'm saying?
But I mean, like, okay, so if you don't like it, what would be something that you do? How would be like what would be a preventative measure? Is it to being exposed to so much sex?
See, that's tough because like going back to social media, it's everywhere. Everybody on social media nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But also, what's rough is you done already jumped into it. You see what I'm saying? So ideally, I think that if you understand that it's deeper than just the action, like we were just talking about as far as understanding soul ties and sex being spiritual. As long as you understand that and take the pleasure aspect out of it, then you'll begin to understand.
But how you get that understanding? Where's that started though?
Stopping, realizing that sex isn't the end all be all and the answer to every question.
But who gonna teach you that?
Yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but then you can't say yourself because some people never experience that.
Experience what?
That somebody don't understand that. Like, okay, I feel like I grew up in church.
Right.
So you normally learn this at church, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what about those people that have never had exposure to church? Never had exposure to anything spiritual, atheists, people like their family don't believe in that thing. They were never taught that.
So you're just saying like a person who just like wasn't religious at all, or anything like that?
Because you learned that through, who taught you that or how'd you learn it?
Self-experiences. I mean, right, I did learn it in church first. You know what I'm saying? Way to marriage, that whole thing.
But I don't know. I feel like it's just something that's not talked about enough. Yeah. Like, I feel like in order to prevent people from falling into the trap of sexual relations, just out of just because, they have to be taught ahead of time to know like okay, we're having a son. So it'd be your responsibility to teach him, hey, look, you can go out there and have sex and do what you do, but this can be a result. Right. Not necessarily telling them don't go do it, because if you tell somebody not to do something, what they gonna do? So it's like, I feel like it's more of like educating people. Because a lot of people, you can't say educate yourself, because we're coming to this world with a blank slate.
I understand that, but I'm saying educating yourself through experiences, because granted, people aren't religious initially. A lot of people will never be religious, or they atheists, like you just spoke on. That's what I'm saying. So if you fall into that, then through experiences, I feel like, because people discredit their mind how powerful it actually is.
I agree.
So I'm saying through experiences, you can understand like what is happening and not be naive to the fact that sex isn't just surface level. You see what I'm saying?
It's exposure though.
Exposure to who?
Exposure to knowledge.
Yeah, but
it's just exposure.
But
so you keep saying experiences. It's like some people have to learn stuff the hard way.
No, I get that.
But so
I understand that.
So it's like you say experiences. It may take me, or it may take a person sleeping with 40 people before they realize that, oh snap, this is what this is. But the damage is already done.
No, but okay. So just because it take one person 40 or it take another person 80, as long as they figure it out, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Do you?
The damage is already done though.
What is the damage?
The soul tie, the trauma bond, anything. The damage is already done before you have to. That's my thing. That's why I said what would be the preventative measure, as in like what would stop it before it gets that bad. Because it's like, if it took a person 40, 80, it don't matter if it took them 2 people. Mm-hmm. That person with 2 people has a better chance of getting over it versus that person that did 40. Yeah. Because it's like you have so much that you have to go through now.
Yeah, but
and
I mean,
you may not ever get over it.
But I just understand that like everybody ain't perfect. Stuff like that happens. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, as far as like what can be a preventative measure, I don't know. I don't have those answers. But I was just more so speaking on like how I feel about like sex being generalized, because you see it everywhere. Like even with my kids, bro. Yeah. That's, you know what I'm saying?
It's a little
I feel like that's insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot much. I don't call it a little much. It's a lot much, cause.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I was more so speaking on, cause it's like people push the agenda to the youth, and then of course now they grow up and become those people we was talking about. Who 80 people in, 40 people in, or even 2, like you said.
But this generation of kids that are coming up, they want to experience life so fast. And it's just like...
we sounded like the old couple now. We only in our 20s.
But it's like, I be like looking, and I'm like, dang, like, y'all want to grow up so fast, and it's like, y'all know what it takes to be a grown up. Yeah.
I mean, we was in their shoes at one point in time though.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
But I knew.
Under like our parents' supervision, we wanted to be grown, I guess you could say, stuff like that. But these bills go to hear you. You gotta think about.
I'm tell you.
You gotta think about other stuff.
Drinking and smoking so young, and it's like, what you gonna do when you get old enough to drink and smoke? Mm-hmm. Now you're gonna try something different. Now you're gonna get into harder drugs because you're bored. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't rush. You're gonna be bored.
Do you like the way that like the older generation like talk down on us?
Almost. Heck no. No.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I feel like the older generation is just like, they just so stubborn. Mm-hmm. They have no will to learn.
It's just stuck in their ways.
They have no will to learn. Mm-hmm. And that is frustrating. I feel like that is where it makes the balance go like this versus us, because we should all be unified. Because we need the old generation. We need their wisdom. But it's like, y'all be so incompetent because you're stubborn to the point where it's just like, I feel like I'm smarter than you. Like, there's nothing you can teach me because you're not willing to listen.
And you know what's funny? Like, they're so stubborn about like how we do stuff, and then like the people who our age or like around our age, I want to go back to the 90s. I want to do this. Ain't that funny? It's like we need to switch almost, and they need to stop being stubborn as well.
They do. Like,
because the inevitable is like change is constant. They don't like. It's like, well, I ain't gonna speak on everybody that's in the older generation, but most of them, they don't like the way how we operate, they don't like the way how we do things. And then when they give advice, it's really keying in on what they went through in their experience. But change is constant. Like what they may encounter, what they went through isn't like what we're gonna go through today.
Oh my gosh, you know, like the one advice that people always gave me that like almost hindered me from this type of marriage?
What?
Strong, independent black woman.
Really?
You have to be a strong, independent black woman. That's what I always got told. Be the strong, independent black woman. You don't need no man. You gotta be able to go get it yourself. Because if you try to depend on a man, you're gonna end up broken. Mm-hmm. That was like all I heard growing up. And I really thought that was the best advice somebody gave me. No.
That's why I think advice is tricky, because you may tell somebody something, right? But you only can tell somebody through knowledge and what you've been through. And you know, they always say, take what's for you, make it go through one ear and out the other. But it's like they almost screwed. They almost screwed you up.
Screwed me out of a whole marriage.
They almost screwed you up. So it's like,
and I feel like
they could have just saved it, honestly.
But they don't know that. But I feel like the mistake is that like they go through stuff and they don't find solutions. So their solution is to isolate or to go the hard route versus it's saying like, okay, versus like them saying, I was with this man and this man forced me to be independent. He wouldn't take care of me. He wouldn't, I'm not necessarily take care of you like money wise, but take care of me mentally, emotionally, like be there, be my rock. You know what I'm saying? As we should be in marriages. And it's like, rather than taking your experiences and being like, if this man is like this, clearly there has to be another man that's like what I'm looking for.
Versus giving up or being stuck how you was in that particular situation.
I'd be like, okay, just because this man didn't treat you good, why you still with him? And then they'd be like, divorce is not an option. Why? Yeah. Then why would you tell me to do the one thing to make myself unhappy? Why would you tell me that like I should go work a job for 20, 30 years and be unhappy and miserable? When then you throw the Bible in there and you're like, this is the way we're supposed to do this is this, and it's just like God tells us to be happy and free.
100%.
He tells us that we are kings and queens. He tells us to love each other and to love ourselves and to be happy. At the end of the day, he says be happy. So why would you encourage me to do things that don't make me happy? Yeah. And then it's like when you look at the older generation, they all unhappy. I wouldn't say all of them, but like they don't be happy. They be so miserable. And it's just like, you don't realize what we realize until you 60, 70.
When it's too late. It's too late then.
Your bones hurt too bad for you to go do anything that makes you happy.
It's too late then.
And it's like, nah, I'm good. I want to be happy while I'm living.
Right now. I'm gonna be happy for forever, honestly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't know. Advice kind of tricky to me.
It is.
Because especially when you're talking to an elder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they always have wisdom. Most of them come with some good wisdom because they live longer than us. They've been through more things than we have in our young age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to sit down and listen, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to take advice from people who only made decisions due to certain circumstances. And like you said, not making a solution. I don't know, but let us know what y'all think about that,
Exactly.
Because I don't know. Advice is a little tricky to me, and I always thought about that like that.
Ooh, speaking of advice, something that people don't talk about advice.
What?
Sometimes people don't want your advice. That is like a big ordeal.
Sometimes they just need an ear.
Sometimes that's why
or you just need an ear.
You know what I'm saying? I have my little thing. I like to ask people, you want me to listen, you want comfort, or you want advice? Because sometimes people don't want your advice. Sometimes they have their own solution. Sometimes they just need to vent. Sometimes they just need you to hug them.
Some people just want to be a motivational speaker.
You know what I'm saying? I be asking you, hey, what you think about this? Don't tell me what you think because I don't care. And then it'd be wrong if I be like, I don't care about nothing that you're saying. Now you feel offended. But I was offended because I ain't asked you for your opinion.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't care about nothing that you have to say. Sometimes people just need your ear. Or just need a hug. Or just need you to be like, you got this. I may not disagree with you, but you got this. Yeah. I may not agree with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might not.
I may not agree with you, but you got it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just need that. So I feel like that's where advice becomes tricky also. Because people just be giving advice and it may not necessarily be needed.
So, with you saying that, what else do you have to get off your chest?
What do I have to get off my chest?
She over here spitting face, yo. What you got? What you got?
What you got to get off your chest?
I would probably say that that it's okay to get discouraged, right? But do something different. Because in reality, it's easy to give up, but if you keep going, everybody not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So keep on striving, keep on taking that next step, like we watched on Stephen Furtick this morning. You know what I'm saying? Because what did he say? He said, faith is not seeing the rest of the stairs. Faith is being able to take that next step to get up the stairs. You know what I'm saying? He was really preaching this morning. You know what I'm saying? I might have taken that's neither here nor there. But yeah, just keep going. Perseverance, consistency, and striving. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. All right, well, the thing I gotta get off my chest is do the thing that everybody keep telling you not to do. Because
what do you mean by that?
Because you know how I always listen to Steve Harvey say this, and he always says that if you tell somebody your idea and they can't comprehend and they think it's crazy, it's a great idea. So if you have an idea and everybody tell you it's the wrong idea or it may not be the best option, it's 9 times out of 10 the best option. Do you know what's best for you? Do what's best for you.
Okay. Well, this has been another episode of TopherTvPodcast. I have my wonderful wife on again. You know, she be over here speaking facts. I really appreciate you. You know, but yeah. If y'all like the video, make sure y'all like it. Make sure y'all subscribe. Get in the comment section. Let us know how y'all feel about these topics we be giving to y'all and stuff like that. But I appreciate everybody for supporting. I'm sure she does too.
Yeah, make sure you go add him on Instagram.
Yeah,
and TikTok.
All of my stuff is in the description box down below. And yeah, this has been another episode of Topher TV. Y'all see it. We'll holler at y'all.